All right, this is Doc D, and so today is Friday the 13th of November 2020, and the slideshow today is in regards to quiz for the following Monday, Monday the 16th, um, which will include Microsoft Access, as well as SQL or structured query language information. There will not be any other information on this quiz. The quiz will be um, some simple answer the questions, and then there will actually be a practical application as well, where you will be given some basic information on information to be to create a database. And I do have two videos out there on creating a database and creating forms and reports within Microsoft Access. And so I have those linked in the bottom part of this slide set. So it would behoove you to go back through those two videos. So anyhow, without any further ado, let's go on to the next. All right, so things that you should know. This is all going to be pretty basic level stuff, nothing advanced. And again, I'm just trying to get you a familiarity with structured query language, knowing basically what the format is, how to find some really simple stuff, and then of course we'll move into the Microsoft Access, which will be the larger portion of this quiz, in that you're going to be given some information to create tables and relationships and do all of that. So, all right, so you'll need to know the basic query format, which is select. Okay, and so you're telling the the program what it is exactly that you want. All right, so we're going to specify a particular column in a table. All right, and so the from tells you what table you're going to pull that column from, and then the where is a conditional. All right, and so if we have conditions that we're going to set using like or equals or whatever, some type of logical argument, that's where we'll use the where. All right, so if I selected, I don't know, if we go back to our movies, in the sequel bolt, it was all the Pixar movies. If we went back to that recording, then and yet that is online as well. If we went back to that recording and we selected title from in the table, I don't remember what the table name was. We'll call it movie, and then where we could put title is Toy Story 2. All right, and so it would go in, it would pull up the table movies, it would then search the columns, the column named title, and it would go in there and it would look for a title that was the same as Toy Story 2, and then that's the information that it would return to you. All right. All right. Let's see. So we also use the Henry's Bookstore. All right. And so here is another example in that, and logically the way this is set up is a little backwards, because you would think we would specify the actual table first, but we're not. We're saying, hey, find the title in this table. All right. And then here we have a conditional where type equals mystery. All right, and now you notice that this is in quotation marks, which means that it is a string character, and so if it didn't have the quotation marks, we probably would not get a return on that. All right. All right. So here we go, and so um, we're seeing little stars here showing these are the things that it would return. So this is a this is a representation of the table book. All right, and keep in mind that in this database there are multiple tables. All right, and so in that table they had in that database they had table for book, they had table for author, um, and there were a couple other tables I don't recall right off the top of my head. All right, so here select title. So again, here we are. We're in table book. We're looking in column title, and then we're saying within this column we want to match this conditional where type equals mystery. All right, and then so it would return, and all it would actually return would be smoke screen, knockdown, and death on the Nile. Those are the only things that return. None of this information would be returned because we didn't ask for it. If we wanted to get all of this information, then we would, in the select title, we would put a comma, and then we would also say BK code, comma, P code, comma, type, comma, price, comma, paperback. And then it would return all of that information for those three movies. Okay, so all right, so yeah, I did an in-class demo doing some very basic queries from Henry's Bookstore. All right, so here's an example where we added two conditionals where the type equals mystery, and again that's in quotes, and price greater than $5. And so if we look here, those three books that were mysteries, one is $4.55, one $4.75, the other $3.95. All right, and so it would return nothing. All right, because it didn't meet both of those. All right, we also could use the or, and if we use the or here, all right, what would we return? Well, so if it was mystery, all right, it would return it. And it would also look here and it would say if the price is greater than $5, it would also return it. And so it would return Shyness, The Stranger, The Dumbly Quartered, Cujo, and Marcel Duchamp. All right. So for purposes of the quiz, all right, what I'm probably most likely going to do is I will give you some example queries, and you're going to tell me what that query is asking, or I may give an example table like this and say, okay, what would this return? What would this query return? All right, and I haven't written the quiz just yet, so I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, but it's going to be something along those lines. All right, I'm not asking you to write a query from scratch. I'm going to give you some basic query stuff and say, what does this do or what does it return? All right. Let's see. Okay, so wildcards. So this will probably be the bulk of the quiz as far as the SQL portion of it is that, I would probably give you, and let me go down to the next one. That's not what I want. There we go. All right, and this was all stuff that we covered in class, and so what do the wildcards mean? And so what I most likely will do is say, give an example of this: B uh, bracket AE bracket LL. What is that? What is that saying? What would that return? All right. And so some basic familiarity with the wildcards and how they're used would do you some good. So this, it would return anything but BA or BE. So bill, bull, but not ball or bell. All right. Real simple stuff. A through C. All right. So this basically goes, hey, let's try substituting an A in, let's try substituting a B in, and let's try substituting a C in for this middle character. All right. So a range of characters. All right. And then the range must be in ascending order. All right. All right. And then the pound sign matches any single numeric character. All right, so it won't be, again, I'm not trying to trick you up. All right, I just want you to demonstrate some basic knowledge and understanding of SQL, and then, like I said, the actual the bulk of the quiz will be creating a database with some different tables that I specify, and then creating a form and a report. Those will both be things that will be expected of you. All right, some other, and this is really just the same thing. So here's the only difference here is we got the asterisk. The asterisk is the wild card of all wild cards, right? So if I use an asterisk somewhere, okay, it's going to return anything. All right, and so example here is select title from book, where title like, and it's got, again, parentheses, the, and then an asterisk. And so what it's going to do is it's going to go in the table, book, it's going to go in the title column, and it's going to look to see, all right, using this like thing here, all right, meaning that it's not exactly, but it's like. And so it's going to look for the, and then it's going to look for anything after that, and it will accept anything. So anything with the in it. Now, if we put a asterisk here, all right, an asterisk here and an asterisk after it, anything that had the in it, so if there was a title that had clothes in it, all right, it would return that. All right, so things to think about. All right, and then the question mark is just a single wild character. So an example here is B question mark LL. All right, so anything that would have that start with a B and then have a character here and then end with an LL, it will find those. All right, and so again, this is really starts to boot up the power of SQL, structured query language. All right, let's see here. All right, so what we're going to do is I think I'm just going to go ahead because I've got a different version of Access on my home computer. I'm stuck at home in the quarantine stuff again. I'm so tired of this. And so I have a different version of Access on my home computer. So I think we're just not going to do the simple query, all right, because I don't have a video on that with Access 2016, which is what you have on the lab computers. All right, so got two different videos that I've recorded previous to this, creation of a simple database. All right, there's the YouTube link. Go in and watch it, and you can expect that I am going to ask you to create a simple database, all right, with probably 2 or 3 tables, probably 3 tables, just because there will be relationships between those tables, all right, and so there won't be a whole lot of information in those tables, all right, but you're going to have to create them, right, and then again, you're going to have to establish the relationships and I'm going to do something that is useful. And then the next YouTube video here is the creation of forms and reports from that same database. All right, and so I will ask you to create a particular form to fill in one of those tables that you're going to create. And then I will also have you create a report, all right, a customizable report, and I'll give you an example of what that is. All right, and then so I think probably what I will do is I will have you do the access part of the quiz first. In that, you log in and you will start. You will just I'll give you the basic information that you need to do those, and you'll start putting it together. All right. When you're done with that, you're going to hold up your hand. I'm going to come over and I'm going to pull up the stuff and verify that it is correct. If it is, then you'll get full points. If it's not, then I'll take points off, depending upon how far out you are. All right. Once you've done that, then given enough time, I'll give you the written portion of the exam. If we're running close on time, then I'll just hold on to that, and you can come and see me after class one day or at a time that's mutually agreeable between us to take the written portion of it. And so that's it. That's what we're looking at for our quiz for Monday the 16th. And also keep in mind that the final is coming up, and that is already posted on Moodle, and you will need to start working on that. All right, because I'm going to put the due date for that around the the first week of December. But your grade is going to reflect the amount of effort that you put into it. I mean, everything that's there you can pull directly off of the lectures and off of the slideshows, and but you got to do the work. You can't just and I did this last semester as well, and most people actually put some due diligence into it. I had a few people that turned in a 3/4 page thing, and needless to say, their points weren't very good. Stay safe. Let's hope for a successful completion of this semester and a successful beginning to next semester. Doc D out. Have a great day.